The Springboks qualify for the quarterfinals of the World Cup, and they'll be playing France, the hosts. It's a very exciting game. It's a crunch game, and I hope our boys will pull it off this weekend. I'll be wearing my Springbok jersey in support of the guys. But today, we'll be focusing on the Cricket World Cup. It's crunch time over there in India. There's some huge games, and I catch up with a really good friend of mine from Australia. Welcome to a very special edition of the 360 Show.
We're watching a very high-class player.
This is when you know everybody is at his best.
So I've just sent my friend a text message with a link. I'm pretty sure you're wondering who it is. It is the big show from Australia, Glenn Maxwell. We'll be catching up with him in a minute. I'm just waiting for him to hit the link. He played in that big game against India, where India came out on top. We saw Virat and KL batting incredibly well. But I wanted to catch up with Maxi to find out exactly what happened in that game and what he thinks of losing the first game of the World Cup. Is there a bit of panic in the Aussie camp all of a sudden? There's lots of other big games in the Cricket World Cup still to come. There's lots of news, lots of events, some injury scares. It's all happening. Hold on, Maxi is here. Let's get him on. Maxi, thanks for joining us. Hardlines yesterday. We know it's not nice to kick the World Cup off like that, but you guys are always contenders. I know you'll bounce back. But before we get into the cricketing stuff, a lot more important than the World Cup and Cricket World Cup. How's that golf swing at the moment?
The golf swing, haven't really been swinging too much. We've actually got a simulator with us at the moment that we sort of have around our team room. And the other night I sort of went down, sort of set my camera up and sort of watched my swing and didn't like what I saw. So I'm going through extensive swing changes at the moment. So a little bit of head noise going on, but hopefully we'll see the positives of that in a few months.
No, there's nothing better than that. For those of you who don't know, when we played in Dubai with the one IPL, we also had a simulator in the RCB camp, and Maxi and I spent a lot of time on there. So we love our golf. We also had a golf course at the resort we stayed at. So it doesn't get any better than that. Well, good luck with that swing, Max. It's not nice to get too technical with that game. But on the cricketing side,
don't forget the 9-iron challenge that we did. That we played the whole 9 holes.
I know.
Just one club. Would you shoot one over? One over through 9 holes?
I think I was a one or two over, but I think it's a couple of beers that helped on that one, eh?
I think we were all flying at that stage.
Awesome. Max, so you find yourselves in Lucknow now, obviously last night in Chennai. Not ideal to lose that first one. It looked tough to bat on there, quite slow, but we all know Chennai is generally pretty slow. How did you find it there in the middle overs? It's never easy to bat first as well. You don't know what a good total is there. So just tough surface. What did you think of that?
Yeah, it probably was a little bit different to what I'd faced here previously in India. I think you come over here expecting it to spin anyway. As soon as you come over, you expect big spin, but it's probably a bit more consistent and slow spin. And I think what we found, even watching the first 10 or so overs, that there was just, because of a lot of cracks through the wicket and a lot of dry spots, there was just a lot of, I suppose, variability, and made it hard to sort of play through the line with any sort of consistency. And I think when you've got that much variability with pretty much every single ball, just meant you had to be a bit more cautious. And we sort of joked about it in the middle that it sort of felt like a end of day 3, start of day 4 test pitch. Just with you had to be so solid with your defence. You had to be so selective with every attacking shot you played. And I think with combine that with, I suppose, the quality of the Indian spinners, they don't miss very often. They're very accurate. They're always asking questions of your defence and make it very tough for you to, I suppose, take the attack to them. And
Virat looks hungry, and it's a worrying sign for all opposition out there. Even though he gave you guys that chance for that one catch, other than that, I just saw that energy, and what a smart innings, right? A lot of batters, I think 9 out of 10 batters in world cricket will panic in that situation and almost try and hit yourself out of trouble. And I think him and Kale were the perfect matchup there in the middle overs. I even read a comment of Kale saying afterwards that Virat told him, let's go into test mode. And that's so sharp and so clever. Credit where credit is due. What did you find of with Virat's energy and the partnership as well?
Yeah, I saw those quotes. It was very similar to the way we were sort of thinking. They sort of sucked the life out of the game a little bit, knowing that there wasn't going to be much run rate pressure, I suppose, towards the back end. But if they could sort of soak up enough time out in the middle, wait for the ball to get a little bit damp and a little bit older, and sort of suck the energy out of us a little bit. Wait till we get tired, because it was certainly humid and hot out there, and hard work to hold on to the ball with you just dripping wet the whole time. And they did it brilliantly. And what I was really impressed with both of them, they kept the ball on the ground the whole time. We tried different fields, we tried different players, we tried different tactics, and they seemed to have an answer for everything. And I thought they played extremely well and just timed it really well. It's something to, I suppose, for our batters to continue to look and grow, watch the best players and the way they go about it. And you're certainly right. Virat does look hungry. He's as fit as ever, as we both know. He's incredibly hard trainer, and he certainly looks ready and primed to take this World Cup.
Your comments on the South African trio who scored centuries the other day, and specifically Aiden Markram with that World Cup record.
Yeah, it was pretty good to watch. Sri Lankan's obviously hampered by not having Hasaranga there. We know how good of a bowler he is, and slightly weaker bowling attack. And as I said, at Delhi, if you can get a decent wicket where it's not really doing too much, you get through that new ball where it might swing a little bit, it can be carnage. And I thought Rassi and Quinton did the perfect job. Basically just hit the ball where it should have been hit, made sure that they had a platform. And we both know as middle order players, when you're coming in and the platform's been set to that extent on a good wicket, that anything's possible. And it's a lot of fun to bat when your top order set it up for you like that with about 15 overs to go, and you got free rein to go hard and take on the field. And Markram certainly did that. He's got such a beautiful swing of the bat. He's got a great temperament, great technique, and when he's up and firing, there's not too many better players to watch in the world, just because of the pure cricket stroke ball striking that I love to see. It's not really slogging power hitting. It's just nice cricket strokes. Even the shots he hits through the line with a straight bat is just it's great to watch. And he's still got the innovations up his sleeve if he needs them. But with how tall he is, he stands on top of it. It's quite a formidable technique that he's got, and he's got great hand-eye. I still remember him hitting a pull shot at Adelaide Oval. I can still hear the sound in my head off Mitchell Stark.
Spot on. I was in a WhatsApp group last night, and the guys were saying, "Unlucky AB, losing your record." And I honestly didn't even know about the record for South Africa now. South African was 52 balls, I think. And I just replied, guys, 52 balls is never fast enough. Not even close. I'm not even
never
surprised.
Even close enough. Yeah, not close
anyway,
enough. So I think you and me are currently third and fourth now, and I think by the end of the tournament we'll be probably eighth and ninth.
Great, thanks for that. Sometimes captains like to talk, or coaches. Sometimes they say we'll debrief tomorrow. Was there anything from someone last night that stood out, like a one-liner from the coach or the captain?
We didn't even speak last night after the game. We didn't really chat. We sort of wandered around, tried to cool down. Guys went off and did the media screen. I think once we come back together, we've had our travel day today, arrived in Lucknow. Tomorrow, I think we'll have a main session with the whole group, and we'll probably sit down and identify some key areas of learnings, and it'll be a pretty calm chat. I think the way that Pat's got this side at the moment, it's very calm, relaxed. There's no real panic from anyone. He's a pretty cool customer. So yeah, we'll make sure that we learn from the last game and try and look forward to being ultra positive and looking forward to a high quality game against South Africa.
That's more often than not the best recipe. It's just to take it in, take it easy, and debrief when you get to the nets. But yeah, I've always liked that kind of leadership from the captain and the coaches who don't really get panicky when you lose a game, and almost like that schoolboy chat after a game. I always hated that. So yeah, well done for that. Not too much luck, hopefully, in the next one, but I know you guys are under a bit of pressure now, so you're going to bring your best game. It's going to be a cracker to watch, and all the very best for the rest of the World Cup.
Cheers, Abbas. Lovely to see you, brother.
Thanks so much, Maxi. Appreciate your time, bud. So, guys, that was Glenn Maxwell, and I hope you enjoyed the insight in the Aussie camp from him. Got a very interesting perspective of how they deal with a big loss like that. I really enjoyed the interview, and I hope you did as well. So, we'll be going across to AB Reacts now. We'll be covering all the games from that first round of the World Cup. Hope you enjoy it. I love this. We've already covered this game, but the opener of this year's World Cup was New Zealand against England. New Zealand coming out on top. A little bit of revenge there from the 2019 World Cup, and they'd be very happy about that. Talking about the 2019 World Cup, there was a young man who watched the 2019 World Cup from Bangalore in India. His name is Rachin Ravindra. He was sitting in a pub watching the World Cup over there in Bangalore, and here he finds himself scoring 100 in the opener of the 2023 World Cup. What a fantastic achievement. What a player. He is the third youngest to score 100 in the World Cup debut. He's 23 years old, almost 24, but what a great achievement by this young man, and a great prospect for New Zealand in the future. Moving on to the next one then, Pakistan survived an early Dutch scare. Like father, like son, Tim and Bas de Leeuw, the only father and son duo who both had the 4-wicket hauls at the ODI World Cup. Great achievement there. I'm pretty sure Tim will be very proud of his son, and absolutely spot on. The Netherlands certainly giving Pakistan a bit of a scare there. I love the fact that they decided to bowl first. I did mention it before that I feel that the minor teams need to bowl first, get a target in mind, and then try and squeeze it out with bat in hand. Specifically against someone like Pakistan with a really good bowling attack, you don't want to get bombed out in that first innings. So the Netherlands playing a really good hand over there, but at the end of the day, the Pakistan bowling lineup just too good on the day. They keep striking, and that's what makes them really tough to beat. And then we see a stat here from brilliant Bas de Leeuw, 190 runs and 9 wickets in 2 matches. Bas de Leeuw becomes the first player to score 50-plus runs and pick up 4-plus wickets in consecutive ODIs. What a fantastic achievement. Moving on to the next game then, Bangladesh cruised past Afghanistan in the fixture over there in Dharamshala. What a fantastic performance. All out, just a solid performance on the day. But what I want to talk about is that injury scare of Mujib. And you see there in the headline, Jonathan Trott warning the England players ahead of the game in Dharamshala about the outfield concerns. So yes, not ideal, and I hope the ground staff can make a plan to firm that up. We see some images there of Mujib digging his knee into the ground, almost getting a really bad injury over there. So hopefully that'll be sorted out. But at the end of the day, great start from Bangladesh in the World Cup opener. And then Sri Lanka against South Africa, one that puts a big smile on my face. The South African batters, as we discussed on the show, just too good on the day. I did say to you guys that I feel we have one of the strongest top 6 batting lineups in the World Cup, and they proved me right. And there you see the man of the moment, Aiden Markram. You guys know that I absolutely love this guy. He's a humble, down-to-earth human being, and what a fantastic cricketer on top of that as well. He just got incredible ground strokes. He never seems to be fazed by anything, never seems to slog a ball, but he scores at a 200 strike rate when he gets going, which is incredible in ODI cricket. He broke the world record, or the World Cup record, for the fastest ever century in a World Cup. 49 balls, overtaking Kevin O'Brien, Glenn Maxwell, and some weird dude, AB de Villiers. I never thought 52 balls was fast enough anyway. I think the 31 ball one might last a little bit longer, but nonetheless, I was pretty happy about that 100. But Aiden, just too good on the day. Congrats, my man. And as you guys would have picked up in the Glenn Maxwell interview, he also alluded to the fact that might even be broken in this tournament still. Let's see. But great day out for South Africa. What a fantastic win. 3 centurions in an ODI match. Doesn't happen every day. Aiden Markram, Rassie van der Dussen, Quinton de Kock. Fantastic effort by the boys, and I'm very happy for the great start by the Proteas. Moving on then, the game, the main game, and the one that we spoke to Glenn Maxwell about, the India-Australia one. What a great game. We see a ex-post from Harsha there in the ability to understand the situation and adjust your game in the requirements of that situation, or to the requirements of that situation. Virat Kohli is unparalleled in modern ODI cricket. And I got to agree with him. Just the mental awareness to tell Kale at the wicket, let's play test match cricket over here. I've done it a few times in my career as well, but it's not so easy when you're 10 for 3, guys. Let me tell you, there's huge panic, deep panic in your system. All you can think of is, how are we going to get out of here? And you are rattled and you want to quickly hit your way out of it. And that's the thing not to do. Unless you sense weakness. That's a whole different story. But Virat, having the presence of mind to tell Kale, listen, forget about the run rate. Let's just play normal test match cricket over here. The ultimate form of the game. Winning India that first game. And what a fantastic outing for Team India. We see Mohammad Kaif's post over there. Kale's recipe for success at 5. First, respect good balls. Build good partnerships. Pick the right bowler to attack. And finally, play the shot most suited for the occasion. Kale, the finisher. And I love that. Both players getting together, a great partnership there, but really just playing smart cricket on the night. And I love to see the hunger of Virat at the moment, running between the wickets. You can see his eyes are very focused. And Team India looking in a really, really good place, and they're definitely the team to beat. We see a post here from ICC. The match-winning 165 run stand between Virat Kohli and KL Rahul was India's highest ever partnership against Australia in a Cricket World Cup clash. Fantastic there. And one more post from John's. Most runs in successful run chase in ODI history. Virat Kohli, 5,570 at an 89 average. Oh my word. That's all I have to say about that. If you're chasing, the pressure is on. You need someone with a presence of mind. You need a bright cricketer, a smart cricketer, a hungry cricketer, and Virat Kohli is all of that. I absolutely love the man, and I know all of India will be very proud of him and rooting for him to keep going. So well done, Team India. Well done, Virat. Moving on to the points table then quickly. There's not much to talk about here. 5 wins, 5 losses. I'm very happy to see South Africa over there. And yes, I mean, New Zealand, South Africa, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and India are the guys who will breathe a bit easier after the first round and not so much for the rest. But we'll keep a close eye on this points table throughout the World Cup. There's not much to discuss at the moment. I hope you enjoyed my rundown there of the World Cup games and the opening round. We'll be moving on to the fitness segment now. And let's hear from Glenn Maxwell and what he thinks about mental and physical strength. We have a fitness segment on the show where I cover a bit of mental toughness and also physical strength and what you need to do. Very, very briefly, what's your fitness beliefs when it comes to mental toughness? So I'll put it under the fitness segment because that is part of fitness in a way. And also physically, what works for you? Do you work really hard in the gym? Do you run a lot? Just those two things briefly.
Well, I think my whole fitness and preparation routine has changed a lot. Obviously, since I had my break of my leg last year, so I've had to be really strenuous with it. I've had to be really specific with what I do in the gym, pretty much every day. There's a lot of ankle and calf extension stuff, knee extension work, just to make sure that I've got I suppose equal strength in both sides. What I found was my left calf obviously lost a lot of its size, sort of still looks a little bit sort of wasted away still, so I'm still working on that. But just to make sure that there's no, I suppose, lingering injuries sort of heading down the track, and I suppose that work that I sort of put in early days has sort of set me up for now in this World Cup. That I do a lot of pool work. I do a lot of running in the pool, jumping, and I find that's a really good stress reliever as well. And something I do probably without thinking, I think mentally is I watch a lot of cricket. I watch a lot a lot of the games. I've always got the World Cup probably on in the background, and still trying to sort of soak it up. I do a lot of mental preparation as if I was in a lot of those situations as a player, and I find that gets me in a great spot into a game. And I find that when I get into a match situation and I see certain fields, certain bowlers, I feel like I'm not surprised when it comes up. Like, I think we've been banded together and they'll have completely different fields for the both of us, even though we're quite similar players in the way that like we have shots around the ground, but they'll have completely different fields. But in my mind, I'm ready for a lot of that because I know the plans that are probably going to be set, and it's not a shock, and it helps keep me quite calm, I suppose, out in the middle when I am faced with those problems.
That's a great answer. I guess it's to a certain extent visualization in a way. So I think especially when you have those dark moments in the hotel room, I think not to sort of withdraw from the team and from cricket itself, but to sort of keep watching, keep the interest, visualize. And it's a great answer from a physical point of view as well. I think as you get older, and I sort of discussed it in our last 360 show we did, was the older we get, it's not about quantity anymore, but more quality, and training smarter in the gym, understanding your body and your strengths and your weaknesses. So it's a great answer that. And Max, thank you very much for joining us. I really appreciate it. All the best. So that's Glenn Maxwell's take on physical and mental strength or fitness. Very interesting to hear what he had to say. And I've been promising you guys for a long time that I'll be sharing my physical workout or routine with you guys. So I don't believe in heavy weightlifting, as you know. That doesn't mean it's wrong. And I've been alluding to the fact that whatever works for you is what you should be doing. Understand your strengths and your weaknesses and what works for you and what not. So there's certain things that work for me. I do weightlifting, but very light. I'll do some pushes and pulls, but a lot of bodyweight stuff, pull-ups, push-ups. I've got a rope in my garden where I climb up and down, and then a lot of core strength. And that's what I want to be focusing on today. I do this about 5 to 6 times a week. I try to do it every day. And when I can't, I'm playing golf or whatever the case may be. But here are the uploaded videos. Finally, there's 14 exercises. I do between 1 and 2 sets, sometimes 2 sets. If I don't combine it with weightlifting, if I combine it with weightlifting, I just go through this whole set of 14 videos, and I feel that's more than enough. So here's the first exercise, very basic plank position, core nice and activated. And there we go, just up and down. Moving on to the next video then. Once again, plank position, not an easy one this, stretching out your arms. Very good for strength work and obviously core strength. The third exercise, starting from the bottom and moving it to a plank position, up and down. By the way, I do between 8 and 12 reps of each exercise. The fourth one, there we go, hitting the hitting the elbows there from the sides, up and down, boom. Quite a nice one that. You'll feel that the heart rate will be rising by now. Then the fifth exercise, there you see tap, tap, up, down, tap, tap, up, down. You'll feel the heart rate really pumping by now, which is fantastic. And then you start in the plank position with the sixth exercise. This is the hardest one for me. Bit of muscle strength there and tapping the chest. And then we move on to some ab work, pike toe touches, 8 reps of these. Very basic, very straightforward. At this point, I just want to really burn my abs a bit. Flutter kicks, 30 reps of those ones. Moving on to the next one. Oblique crunches. I love doing this one. All the way down and up. About, I'd say, 15 reps both sides. Then moving on to the 9th one. Leg lift toe touch. Also really good ab work. And the last one of this set is the knee raise crunch, 8 reps of those. I do about 15, to be honest. That's not so difficult. And then to finish off, I have these 3 ones, not so easy. I don't know what you call this, but the low down, low back up. I do about 12 reps of those. And then second last one, guys. There we have it. Push up, side to side. Very good strength for your core there. And also some muscle work while doing those push-ups. And then last but not least, I don't know what you call this once again, but it's great for core work, great for strength work. And there you have it, my 14 exercise routine that I try and do daily Obviously, it's not humanly possible for me with 3 children and a lot of other hobbies and activities to do that every day. I do get to this about, I would say, on average 4 or 5 times a week. I combine that with strength work, very basic push-ups, pull-ups, rope climbs, some very lightweight. I'll do 20 kgs dumbbells on each arm. I do about 15 to 20 reps of those. So all my strength work, I really try and up the reps to 15 to 20. And yeah, mostly body weight exercises. But combined with this, I feel is the perfect fitness regime. So that's my 14 exercise routine, fitness routine that works for me. I hope you guys enjoyed it and maybe try it out. Maybe it works for you, maybe it doesn't. And then I shared with you that platform last week. It's called friend.tech. I saw some guys joining in. I hope you who have joined the private chat with me really enjoy the conversation and the interaction with me. We're discussing pretty much anything, whatever we want. Virat's knock, the World Cup, who's going to win, who's not. There's some funny stuff on there as well. So if you haven't joined yet, go have a look at friend.tech and look me up with my Twitter handle or my X handle, abdevilliers17, and you'll find me there. So in last week's quiz, guys, let's get to the quiz for this week. Who won the first ever Cricket World Cup? I told you guys it's a little bit of a trick question because everyone will be going to the men's, but this was the women. England women won the 1973 Cricket World Cup. This was the first ever tournament of its kind in cricket, 2 years before the first ever men's Cricket World Cup, which was won by the West Indies. Nice little trick question for you guys there. Congratulations to the winner, and well done for all of you for participating. And then in this week's quiz, not so tricky, but you'll still have to do your research. South Africa have put on 400 plus totals in World Cups, one pretty recent against Sri Lanka. Name all the SA Centurions from those matches. And this week's hint is I'm one of the 6, and that game was against the West Indies in 2015. It was played at the Sydney Cricket Ground, the SCG, one of my favorite and most memorable knocks of my life because it was against all odds. I was pretty sick the night before. I got injections at 3 o'clock in that morning, and I remember falling asleep after the warm-ups. I was fast asleep when the coach tapped me on my shoulder and said, "AB, you're in. Do you want to bat or should we move you down the order?" And I remember just walking out there and saying, "Coach, there's no way, so I'm going to have to go bat. It's my turn." And I remember that first ball being bowled, and the ball looked like the size of a soccer ball, of a football. And I was just pretty excited about that, and I knew it was going to be a good one. One of my favorite knocks of all time. And then this coming Saturday, I will be doing a 360 live. It is obviously India against Pakistan, and I just can't miss out on that. It's going to be a huge game. It's the biggest, I think, rivalry in cricket history. Huge challenge for both teams. Both teams have won their first game. It's going to be great. And I will be covering roundabout from the toss, I think, to the start of the game, live with you guys. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to cover your questions. So keep an eye out on my socials and be sure not to miss that one. Thank you very much for joining me on this week's 360 show. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. Have a fantastic week.